What's up, everybody? What's happening? What's going on? Hey, Mega 405 coming to you live. Yep, no, I had to check also. No button. uh, got some peanuts in my teeth. These are peanuts. Anyway, um, what's going on, everybody? K Mega 405 coming to you live from the 405, where I'm just your regular gamer talking to the intelligent gamers today. Now, a story that I did bring up towards the end of my thoughts yesterday, I'm going to go in more detail about. Was talking about junior developers having issues with optimization code. That's what it basically was about. So, and it obviously seems to be a real big issue, a problem. On top of that, also we'll be talking about a little bit of Halo. Just some news I just seen that popped up about 10 minutes ago. I think it dropped about a couple of hours ago, but I guess I can go ahead. I can show a little bit of that right now. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's see. Boom, right here. Halo Leaks is giving out this information saying that Halo 2 and Halo 3 are being remade. Yes, they will have sprint, no multiplayer, only campaign, full remakes. Multiplayer is going to be in Halo 7. Okay. So basically, okay. I'm not mad about it. I'm not. I knew that this. It was just like what I was bringing up about yesterday. It was saying that Xbox, for Halo Combat Evolved remake, I'm like, I'm going to play it. It's not something that is fully on my radar. I'm ready for the new Halo. But this also tells you right there, Halo 7 is going to have the multiplayer. So they're going to be making a new Halo game. This will be really cool if they do this way. And what I mean is if they jump in and they play all of the Halo, they remake all the Halos, all of them, 1 through Infinite, or I would say 1 through 5. Then it's a win. Because you have to, because the story's it has to be addressed for every story. It doesn't matter how much you like them or love them. It doesn't matter. But every story has significance and have importance to get to the point to where you got to Halo Infinite. All of them. Now, I mean, it would be really cool if they brought some kind of remake to Halo, the Halo Wars games. But again, I don't think that that's going to be necessary. But I would love it. I mean, I love both games. And tremendous, and Halo Wars 2, of course, because of the type of genre of game it is, don't get enough love. But it produced the Banished, which is one of the most badass villain groups in gaming, and you have one of the badass villains in gaming. I mean, he is up there with some of the best, and Atriox. So I'm like, yo, let's do this. So again, when you're doing this situation with Combat Evolved, where you're going to have 3 extra missions. All right, and I guess one of those missions is going to have Johnson involved into it, maybe like a co-op deal or whatever, where you can, which that will also be a cool factor too, because one of the biggest letdowns in Halo Infinite, because there were people that were still complaining about split screen, they didn't implement giving you different Spartans to play with when you were playing co-op. You all were chief, and I just thought that was lame. I really did. There was so much. No, Atriox isn't dead. Atriox, he's gone. He went into some kind of time warp thing. If you beat it on a harder difficulty, you would have seen that he didn't die. He went back in time. So that would kind of explain some of the situation of what they're going to do about when they were first started implementing that there could be a remake and a reset. it wouldn't be a full on reset, but it would be a kind of a dirty reset in a way. I guess you want us to label it that, because Atriox goes back in time and he changes things that comes to the present. Now, is it one of those things where he tries to kill Chief before Chief is even born, or is it where he frees, because I believe that Atrium, Estriom, I think that's his name, how you pronounce his name. He is like the overseer, was at the time the main commander over Atriox. Like, he founded Atriox. He was kind of like, it's really, really cool because Atriox is kind of like Master Chief and Estriom is kind of like Sergeant Johnson. Like, you see this kind of, they seen the potential in both, right? So that's kind of like how Escharum was, and that's why in the end of when you fought Escharum, Master Chief gave him an honorable death. Like, he held him like, yo, you're a very worthy opponent. Like, damn, and you're old. Like, Chief, man, Escharum had Chief's ass dipping and running and moving. And we're talking about an old Escharum. So what could been if Escharum was young, right? Like, because he mentored Atriox, and Atriox dog walked Master Chief in the beginning of Infinite, right? Like, dog walked him. Like, it wasn't even a fight. It was just a, like, I'm gonna show you, little demon, you ain't shit. I'm the one that you got to worry about. That's what it and that's what I was loving it, and then it kind of veered off and did all that cheap shit, which I know that there was so much more that was supposed to be in Halo Infinite, that was going to touch on the Forerunners and touch on what, I forget what those things, the Guardians and all and kind of bring in, and everything kind of worked together because there was all different types of factions that was going on that ring. So anyway, and then of course they was going to bring back the Flood. So they had so much, but then it got cut so much for the game to come out because people were talking about the way that the aesthetic looked and all this and that and the third, whatever. But if they do it the way they suppose, if they're going to just keep doing the remakes, do not stop it at 3. Please do not stop it at 3, because then what you're doing is that you're taking away one of the best Halos that was ever made, and that was 4. You know how much I love 5, but 4 was an outstanding story. It's one of the best. It's one of the best. To some people, it is the best. It humanized Chief. This is where I started believing in 343's work. Was because they humanized Chief. They made Chief have personality. Cortana was going through it. It wasn't just this kind of robotic 80s kick-ass dude that showed no emotion. That shit is corny. I want something more in my storyline. Yes, it's cool for the first 3 games, but come on, give a little bit of more character for it. They did it with God of War. They do it with every other goddamn game out here now. Do the same with Chief. So they kind of was trying to dumb down Chief a little bit in Infinite, but still there was still more of him being more having some compassion in certain cases and things, especially with the whole situation with the AI and all that other stuff. But anyway, no, Atriox is not dead though. You had to beat the game in the hardest difficulty. It was the hard difficulty or the hardest difficulty. I can't remember, but then you would get the true ending and you would find out that Atriox is not dead. He just goes back in time. So that's what we got right there. What's up? Also in the chat, I forgot to mention, okay, so in the community thing on my channel on YouTube, I put up a list of games for tomorrow night to see what game am I going to play tonight. Tomorrow night, stream tomorrow night, and so, and I only put like, I think 3 games or whatever. Well, then somebody in the comment section brought up a couple of more, and I was like, you know what? I'll redo it. I think I kind of know where I'm going to go. Where I'm going to have to, what I'm going to have to play. But I was like, you know what? Let me put the other games right here. So let me look at the list. Oh, it's close. It is close, Jack. You know what I'm saying? We're just now getting started with the stream, but it is close. So on the list, it is Resident Evil 7, Callisto Protocol, Dead Space Remake, Resident Evil 8. And really, Resident Evil 8, I know it doesn't really have a chance. I just put it there. I was thinking about, somebody was talking about Outlast or something like that. I do have Outlast, but I think I have it on PC. It was a game that I got for free or whatever. So anyway, so I didn't put that on the list. And then, I mean, there was others that some other people brought up, but I'm just kind of like, well, now the game that I will probably never ever play is Alien Isolation. You can kick rocks on that, Jack. I ain't playing that shit. So and that's the one that probably, if anybody wants to see me screaming like a girl, it's probably that game. I mean, I'm probably going to scream like a girl on any of these games here, but here's the list right now. Dead Space Remake is the one winning. I know Oxcular fan is probably pretty pissed off because he wants me to play Resident Evil 7. I don't know which one is the scariest one out of those games, but if you guys are participating on which game you want me to play tomorrow night, and again, my wife is going to be with me watching me this whole time, so I got to man up. So I cannot. She's going to be making her stream debut with me. So this is going to be this might turn out to be pretty nasty. So anyway, I don't know. So we'll see. But right now, Dead Space Remake is getting the nod. We'll find out how it all plays out at the end. So anyway. He said put Redfall in there. Boy, that's disrespectful. Bro, I am not putting Alien Isolation in that mix, son. I ain't doing it. I don't even have that game. That game is so goddamn terrifying. I didn't buy it. Now, let me just put it like that. I don't have Alien Isolation, so I couldn't put it on the list anyway. There ain't no way, Jack. Callisto is technical heads are super annoying. Okay, technical heads. Okay, all right. Resident Evil will be the scariest. That's what everybody says. But Alien Isolation, Jack, hell no. Hey, I'll be cool to play Redfall. That ain't shit. I can do Redfall. Redfall, you know, the very beginning when you start the stream, yeah. I mean, when you start the game, that was kind of weird looking at that queen vampire come in through the door. But other than that, like, the game is just fun to play. But yeah, so what's going on, everybody? But anyway, yeah, let me get back to the Halo stuff. I just wanted to let you guys know the list is on YouTube, and also you can put this in. You can, for the people who's listening that aren't on YouTube. Go ahead and put it in there. I'm looking at the list. I'm looking at the comments. So if you're not on YouTube, if you're on Twitch, if you're on TikTok, if you're on Instagram, wherever you at, just put it down there. I will see it, and then I'll calculate it up for the people on top of everything. So, let me see this. Resident Evil is Resident Evil and Dead Space is tied right now. It's getting nasty. It's getting nasty. But anyway, let's get back to the game stuff. All right. Well, let's get back to the topics at hand. All right. So anyway, so yeah, with Halo, I'm interested. Am I losing my mind? Am I losing my mind with it? Not yet. I mean, I'm going to play them. It doesn't matter. It's Halo. I'm going to play a Halo game. It's just habit, right? But do it right. Do the franchise right. With, you know, for if you throwing all these games on PlayStation, and I guess maybe, well, Nintendo might get some. I have no idea. I don't even know. But let's just say PlayStation for right now, and do them all. Let everybody experience the greatness of Halo like we experience it. It's not just 1, 2, and 3. Halo 4 was goddamn amazing. And matter of fact, it's one of the best looking Halos to date. To date. It holds up today. It holds up today. And don't get it twisted about Halo 5. Halo 5 looks outstanding. And it took a while because, you know, there were so many people that wanted to try to hate on that game so much. There's people that likes that aesthetic, like that Halo 5 aesthetic. Because, I mean, when you look at, see, for instance, okay, so like the Halo 5 like armors that they have on Halo Infinite. I mean, why do they got my girl armor looking like that? It looks ugly as hell. Like, Lox looks cool, Bucks looks okay, looks cool, but man, The two females, like I forget what it was, the Latino girl. I can't think of their name. It's Takana, Taka, and I can't think of who the other one is. Who the Latino girl's name is. Armor is so fresh on Halo 5, and that shit is all bulky and ugly on Halo Infinite. That's what I'm saying. That Halo Infinite aesthetic is just, it's like I wouldn't be tripping if they yeah, I don't know. It's just an ugly aesthetic. I don't like it. Now, maybe that's because the way somebody showed it, because I know that you can alter. But anyway, get rid of that old ass ugly aesthetic, man, and redo it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Make it modernized. Like Halo 4's was probably maybe people's, I would say it's probably my favorite. Halo 5's was awesome though. Like the futuristic look, the whole different style, and it gave character to different Spartans. I loved it. So anyway, yeah, Elite. I preferred 4 and 5 over everything. Now I don't have a problem with 3. I thought 3's look was cool. You know, and you know what I'm saying, you're going back to 1 and 2. You know, I mean, of course that you know, it is what it is. But you know, those were older games. They still had alterations on them, which was cool, which between 1 and 2. But I mean, good grief, man, come on, stop this. You know, and there was somebody that was upset because of the fact that, you know, if you read some of the comments in here where, okay, so they're talking about they're going to have Sprint and they're going to have Clamor. They're going to modernize the games, and I'm cool with that. That's exactly what it is, right? And so anyway, I go down and here's somebody that this is what you got to face on the internet, right? Okay, so I don't know who this person is, of course, but I'm just kind of like, hold up. Okay, so this dude says, from a graphical standpoint, there are a lot of oddities with what I imagine is an upscaling method used along LODs. The LOD system is a bit too strong, which causes the glove at times to become super deformed. I mean, how many people? I mean, we got people that don't even, well, I think people might know now. But we got people, you know, to a certain degree, not to a full degree, but we got people today that don't really, that they'll tell you that they can't see a true definite difference between 1080p and 4K. And you got a person that is still framing a game. Well, not even, but they're still framing a trailer of a game that is not yet released, that is still in production, that they're still ironing out stuff within the game, and point out. I mean, that's fine to point it out, I guess, to say, hey, devs, don't forget about this. But this is the type of shit that we see. What are we doing? What are we doing? I'm not. I mean, I look at detail and things, but I'm not going out. I mean, if the gloves, you know, look like that or whatever, I mean, okay. Now it would be a cool aesthetic to add to the game, like if Chief punches enough Covenant, something like that, that the gloves would have a little tear in it or would get deformed like that. That would be a great piece of detail. And again, like, I mean, there are studios that has that type of great skill and detail, but we're talking about a shooter game that should have good detail in it. And it does, from what they showed, has really good solid detail. But I mean, but we seem like we're trying to get back to, because the oranges that was in the crates in the multiplayer didn't explode or crackle or do something else when you're playing a multiplayer game, and you're more worried about what the enemy and what your team is doing more than seeing those apples or oranges or whatever, that basket of fruit breaking up. Is it a cool aesthetic? Absolutely. But is it something that is superbly necessary? No, I want you to make sure that the balance of the weapons is more accessible, that there's not lag or desync into the game, more so than a basket of fruit breaking. Now again, the single player game, I get you. And this is single player. This isn't. I mean, well, it's co-op, but this is a multiplayer co-op game. So it's not like you're shooting against other people. But my goodness, man, I don't know. That's a little wild to me. That's a little wild. But anyway, I thought that was pretty interesting. I'm pretty excited about it, actually. Let me go back to my gameplay of Outer Worlds. I started Outer Worlds 2. What I chose on Outer Worlds 2. I'm very methodical. I'm kind of I call myself a roundabout. I wanted to kind of do something like, I don't really have a select set of skills. I mean, I know how to hack, and I'm a roundabout type of guy player. Like I coming in and then like I'm just pretty much get lucky. I don't know how I survive some of these crazy situations. I just do, and also have the suave personality, which makes me where my character, I can talk my way out of shit instead of fight, which Ham Solo used to hate that because, oh my god, what game was that? Starfield. I didn't even at the last fight. I talked dude out of it. I talked him out of it. I was like, Ham Solo hated it. He said, "Oh man, that's the weakest shit I ever seen." I'm like, bro, no, that was my. I had the mind ability skill, and also enhanced it, and then I had this, and I topped my skill off to where I could talk a motherfucker out. Hey. There ain't no need to fight me. And if they still tried to fight me, I would sit there and mind control somebody else to go kill them. And I sit back and wait until they're peppered up, and then I go and light their ass up. That's how I played. I loved it. And so I really wanted to see if you could do that in Starfield. And when I did it, it was so gratifying and satisfying. So hopefully I can start doing the same thing in Outer Worlds too. So anyway, but yeah, so far for what I played, I'm enjoying it. I'll get back to it here later on this evening, but then there's the Thunder game, so whatever. But anyway, give us CQC Chief. Hold on, let me see. It says they can't afford the 4K OLED TV. I mean, hell, they are expensive, and TVs are more expensive than they've ever been. Hold on, damn. Oh, that's right. We turned down. Hold on. Let me, it's a little warm in here. Let me turn this off. Oh. Yes, sir. All right, here we go. There we go. I was like, boy, I was like, it's getting warm in here. Forgot we turned on the heater. And so I got my door closed, and I'm like, hold up, it's getting hot as hell in here. What's happening? Boy, I gotta drink some water. Anyway. Okay. All right, let's get back to work. Anyway, Chief, I agree, Chief needs to be put on ice, but here we go. But I'm not mad about. I'm not, like I said, I'm not mad about the remakes. I'm cool with them. I mean, I'm going to play them, but I'm ready for Halo 7. So this is going to be. I know this is a fill-in. This is kind of like the PlayStation way of doing things. I'm not a big fan of it, but since they are putting Halo on everything, there's a lot of people that missed out on a lot of Halo. So I kind of see the point of it. And I know that they're over here trying to perfect the Halo being now ran through Unreal Engine 5. So by the time that they do Halo 7, that they've understand the how they get how Unreal Engine 5 works. So in a sense, cool. Do what you got to do. Just make sure that you just do them all. Just bring them all. Do that. Right, he said K Mega versus the Demon King. He says, do love, not war. Demon King, you are right. Peace and love is the way to go. Good ending. Brother, I loved it. I loved it because it was like I was strong enough to take him out, but I was just like, hold up. Let me see how I can play this out, man, and go through it. And then, so, on my second playthrough, I'll wear him out, you know what I mean? But I'll just, I don't know. Yeah, I need to get back to Starfield. Okay, what up, Yobi? He said the third person mode in Outer Worlds 2 is Chef's Kiss. You know what? I haven't even tried the third person mode yet. I didn't even know that it had that. He says made the experience much more better for me. You know what? I'm gonna have to try that. So anyway, I put in about 3-4 hours into it. I thought the beginning of it was solid. How it set itself up. I was like, oh, okay. Anyway, so I'm enjoying it for sure. Anyway, I gotta check. I gotta keep checking. I gotta see. God dang it, boy! Resident Evil 7 is up 36. See, so it's definitely going to be between Dead Space remake and Resident Evil 7. So we'll see who wins at the end. Good grief! So people are telling me they want to see me cry like a baby, scream like a baby tomorrow night. God, yeah, the beginning was fire. Anyway, all right, so that part was crazy. So I'm cool about Halo. Anyway, let's get to something that I brought up yesterday in regards to the developer situation. Okay, so like I was telling you that I found this it was an article, but it was more of a topic piece. It was, in some places that where I go to get my gaming information and stuff like that, there's a lot of developers, there's a lot of people in there. So I'm not going to show that information, but I will go into what I was talking about. And this was kind of crazy. So it's called the optimizing code, right? So I was basically talking about yesterday. I was looking at a new NBA game that's coming out, and it looks like, and I think it might be from EA. That's kind of seemed like it's going to be the successor of NBA Street, because I read about and I talked about this months ago, and I was very excited because I'm like, oh my goodness, because they're talking about bringing EA Big back, which I'm all for. Like, I love EA Big, and they're the people who brought Def Jam, Fight for New York, Def Jam Vendetta, SSX Tricky, SSX 3. There was a BMX game. I can't remember what the name of that game was. They brought FIFA Street, NFL Street, and then they brought NBA Street. Anyway, so there's an NBA game that's being made, being pushed, and I seen the trailer of it, and I'm like, the movement of the players did not look very good to me. Now, again, the game is not out yet. Most likely it'll come out sometime next year, maybe around the summertime, something like that. But man, they got some work to do, because there was a spin move that it was Giannis that he made, and it was so choppy, and the animations looked lazy. And I was just like, yo, no, man, because I mean, when you think about those type of games, NBA Street was elite. And so that's what made me want to bring up this topic anyways, because I seen something about it. And it was pertaining to just about junior devs in general, not about just that NBA Street. But when I seen that, I'm just kind of like, man, what in the world is going on here? Like, I mean, this should look a lot better than what they showed in the trailer, right? So anyway, I'm going to read this to you. It says this, and this is kind of like an overview from what has been said, and there's a lot of videos about it, and it's gone all the way back to 2019. So obviously, this has been something that's been happening for a while, and I mean, we've experienced it as well as gamers, where we see where people will show something like I just seen somebody post a video about Battlefield 1, right? And they were talking about the color palettes, the way the lighting looked, all different types of aspects of like, how is Battlefield 1 still looking superior in some cases when you have a game, and when that game came out, compared to when you look at Battlefield 6, which looks fantastic. There's nothing wrong with Battlefield 6. But it's like, hold up, like, what's going on? You know what I mean? Like, is it just the difference of this and that and the third? And then all you got to look into as well with the developer situation with Battlefield, within Battlefield, you had, just think about how Battlefield 1 was, how Battlefield 5 was, and then you look at Battlefield 2042, and that's when there was this mad exodus from a lot of people from DICE. The head guy of DICE at the time, he stepped down. EA wanted to make all different types of moves and changes and rearrange some stuff and cut back. And then the older devs was getting tired of stuff. They moved. They wanted to do their own thing, or they just was retiring, or they got pushed out. And then you got Battlefield 42 because then they sent in all these young contractors in, and Battlefield 42 almost killed the franchise. Now, it took years for them to get it together. It took all 2 years for the game pretty much to get, well, I wouldn't say all 2 years, but a year and a half or so for the game to play and run a lot better. But that's kind of like what we've experienced as gamers, and this is what's kind of been set out and brought in the back channels. And so I'm going to read this to you a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Right. He says, Battlefield 1 can run on a Q66, 6600 CPU. I know, like, that's what I'm saying. And look fantastic. Like, it's crazy. Okay, so it says, while not all young or junior developers struggle with optimization, a lack of experience and context can lead to common issues. Inexperienced programmers may not fully grasp the practical trade-offs involved in real-world software development or understand the underlying systems their code runs on. Common optimization mistakes by junior developers: premature optimization. A classic mistake is to optimize code before confirming that it is actually a performance bottleneck. This is what we're seeing a lot, especially on the PC end, right? Okay, so now, you know, I'm showing my gameplay of Outer Worlds 2, right? And I'm running it on my PC. I was watching all of the, you know, I always check a couple of channels just to see whatever, because I trust them about how games will run, things, this, that, and the third, right? So there was all these channels out there talking about how bad that Outer Worlds 2 ran on PC. And even though when you're running with a 5090, it was, and if you turned on the hardware, what was it, the hardware ray tracing, that it would drop your frames to like 20 frames per second, like, and they were like, man, just toggle out, because the game will automatically, when you boot up, will optimize and let you know how it runs. So this is what's crazy, right? I don't know what the situation, because I don't have a 50s card. I got a 4080, right? So anyway, but and I got an Intel chip. It's super high end, but it's not 50s high end. I booted it up through the Xbox app. It said it's going to run perfect, and I'm like, okay, whatever. And so it does. It automatically optimized it for me. Well, when I looked and I checked the stats, everything is maxed, and it's also playing. And this, like I said, this is my gameplay right here, right from me playing off of through the Xbox app, right? You see, it's not stuttering, it's not tripping. I mean, I'm running over 60 frames per second. It's nuts. And so I don't know what the hell was that about. I don't, because I'm looking at people who have a 5090 and they have to lower it to 1080p to get over 100 and some frames. Now, I'm not hitting no 100 and some frames. I'm anywhere from like 65, it drops to like 58, right? But I have that on. Now, if I take that off, it probably jump off, but I just let it run. Like, it chose both the ray tracing and the hardware tracing. And like I said, it running fine. Like, you can see just how it's running okay. So it is baffling to me. And it also shows that all PCs are not equal. Not saying that mine is superior, because anybody who has a 5090 paid that much for a 50 series, a 5090 or 5080. There ain't no way that my shit should be running better than theirs. You know what I mean? I know it comes to GPU and all this and all that, but it comes back to the point that I was making about this topic. premature optimization, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm trying to learn about this stuff. I'm very ignorant to it, but it's making more and more sense the more I read and I dig into this stuff. And so that's why we have some of the issues that we have today in gaming. It's because of, it seems like a lot of junior developers are, like it says a classic mistake is to optimize code before confirming that it is actually a performance bottleneck. And we have a lot of games that get bottlenecked. I mean, case in point, look at Borderlands 4. My God, it's atrocious. So anyway, let me read what some of you guys are saying. It says, Curie, any news on, okay, what I'm saying, talking about Abyss, Night Abyss. Is Night Abyss any good? Because it looks good. It looks good. It catches my interest, but it looks good. Anyway, runs fine on my Series X. And that's all that matters. Like if it's running fine on your Series X, on your PlayStation 5, whatever. Now I heard that the PlayStation Pro it didn't run good on the PlayStation Pro at all. I'm here it runs fine on the PlayStation 5 and on the Series S and X. You know, granted for what the Series S can offer you, but it's some people's PCs, and so you'll be saying their processor probably ain't strong enough, or they don't have enough RAM, and I'm thinking that's another issue as well. But I don't know, but it is pretty crazy to me. But this is also another thing too. It says at saying that goes, premature optimization is the root of all evil. Without profiling or benchmarking, junior developers may waste time optimizing a part of a program that has no real impact on performance. And that's what those devs in the place that I was looking at was talking about. Like they were like, bro, these young devs don't give a fuck. They're so obsessed with some things like this and that. They're trying to cut corners to go this way and not go that way. So I'm like, oh, wow. And so anyway, here's more. It says, overcomplicating situation. Eager to impress, newer developers may over-engineer a solution by adding a necessary layer of abstraction and complexity. This often makes the code harder to read, debug, and maintain, and can even worsen performance. Okay, so this dude, so what is, we got these men and women here that's coming out and saying, yo, I got this. Watch me cook, watch me work. and over here add more things to it than what needs to be. So I mean, you know, because these kids are smarter than smart, and especially if you got kids, and especially they're a teenager or higher, those little, and hell, they might be even younger than that. Those little bastards think they know everything. They think because they were born in their time, and I mean, I know that when we were younger, we felt the same way. You know, but life came and hit us a lot earlier to where we had to, okay, hold on, let me reassess. But these kids today, these younger kids, like, you know, like I said, I know that there could be like an 9-year-old that you know, whatever, but I'm talking about teens and young adults. Those bastards think they know everything, like everything that they know in their timeline is factual, right, and better. I mean, I have these arguments with my kids all the time until the reality hits them right in their ass, and then they understand, oh, and then they still make an excuse because they don't want to say that you're right until it's bad, and then they got to say, I hate to say this, but you're right. Of course, I've been living for 50 years. I kind of understand. You know what I mean? So we kind of get it. It was no different than what my mother and my grandparents and uncles and aunts and cousins that were older that was like, yo, you moving around too fast, buddy. Nah, I'm good. It's different. It's different now. Anyway, so anyways, let me keep reading this. So this makes so much sense. I gotta read that again. That is so funny to me. Okay, so eager to impress, newer developers may over-engineer a solution by adding unnecessary layers of abstraction and complexity. They often make the code harder to read, debug, or maintain, and it can even worsen performance. Good grief, man. Okay, neglecting fundamentals. A strong understanding of core computer science concepts is critical for efficient code. Junior developers who jump straight into frameworks without mastering fundamental knowledge of data structures and algorithms may write insignificant code and find it hard to debug program issues. Again, they're cutting corners. They're trying to be quick with it. Now. Also, it could also be the situation of the maybe crunch, and if it's the lack of crunch, and they have developers jumping on their ass and telling them, yo, or I should say publishers or their like head manager or whatever jumping on that, like, we got to get this done. We only got a certain amount of time. Hey, time is money, Jack. Time is money. So that could be another issue right there with the insufficient algorithms and the data structures and stuff like that. Or I'm sorry, but oh yeah, that's what it was. And so, you know what I'm saying, where they have an ineffective approach and trying to go quick with what they're doing. So that's unfortunate. So anyway, well, no, that wasn't it. I'm sorry. That was neglecting fundamentals. That's what this was. This next thing I'm reading is going to be using inefficient algorithms and data structures. Okay, so I apologize for that. But that's what I'm talking about with the whole just kind of weaving through. That could be management. That could be the publisher. Maybe not so much on the junior developer, but it seems like it could be all the above on that issue. So anyway, now reading using inefficient algorithms and data structures. Okay, so inexperienced developers may have a naive or ineffective approach, such as testing loops for repeated searches on an unordered list instead of more efficient data structure like a hash table or a sorted array with the binary search. Okay, so, a lot of this stuff it sounds foreign to me. But I understand it, but I'm like, when they're talking about, like, when they say, unordered list, but I mean, that's, again, they're cutting corners, or they're trying to think that they know it all and they can find it through another way. But I think one thing that's hurting everything from sports on down to just the everyday work environment is these goddamn algorithms and these, oh my goodness, it's what is it called? Analytics. Analytics is good, but it shouldn't be the all end all. Like, it almost fucked up baseball completely. Now it's helped because people have kind of changed some things up, because I know that they wanted to make the games faster and things like that, and it's made it more exciting. There's no question about that, and that's fine. But they went at one point so analytic heavy that it was hurting the game a lot. And I mean, you see a lot of that within the NBA, a lot of that with the NFL. It's just, I get looking at and researching data and getting the data, but sometimes you still got to put the human element behind it to make sure that you still have a good, proper structure, right? And see right there, when you go ahead and you're checking out, saying algorithms and thinking that what you're doing, looking in a whole other direction where you're not, when you could just go and look at the thing just right there in front of you. I mean, it's crazy. And that's why when I was looking at the not listening, but reading the comments from the older developers, they wouldn't come out and say it, but that's why I said yesterday, there might be a time that they're looking at they're looking at their replacement. And if their replacement is looking at them and treating them like they're shit because they old and they about to be knocked out, or like one of the topics here is saying that they want to impress and look like they're going to show out, that they're going to cook. That, listen, there's already a structure laid out for you. And so if that structure's laid out for you, just follow that path. Hey man, look, young man, young lady, the path is right here. You just follow this. And you got people that want to show out, want to do this and that, and then now you got that. So here we go. Here's the next one. Poor memory management. Mistakes like allocating memory inside a loop or copying an entire data structure instead of passing a reference can lead to excessive memory uses and degraded performance over time. So I think that's kind of like where we have the stuff. I think that what Yobi was breaking down, talking about why we have so many games with the RAM situation. Like if you don't have enough RAM, you're cooked. It doesn't matter if you have the best CPU or the best GPU. If you don't have enough RAM, you're cooked, Jack. You are cooked. That game is. And now you look at. I'm seeing that the prices for DDR5 are skyrocketing because these developers, these industry people know that works in NVIDIA, AMD, and all above, they know. They know. They know. They know. They know. These game developers need to make these games. I mean, these games need to be made with high RAM. They know. So, oh my goodness, we cook. Let me go ahead and read some of these comments here. Let's see. It says, yeah, I had some bugs on PC and performance is kind of bad on my phone. Let me keep reading that. Shout out to the 2060 that he said that MF was running Starfield day one at 1080p 60 on my PC. Thanks, K Mega. He says that little MF was a beast, bro. It was. Oh, so did you upgrade? Did you finally have to give up the 2060? Because the 2060 was humming, baby. That little bastard was doing his thing, man. No doubt. So what did you upgrade to, Yobi? You gotta let me know. So yeah, that little bastard was cooking. I that's why I was like, man, it was great for what it was. I mean, now you're gonna need whatever. I'm pretty sure the 2060 is over there like, damn. Looking at games like Alan Wake and saying, bruh, hey man, we gotta drop this shit to 720, 2060. I don't know, but yeah, so Curie in the chat, she said, did you use the standalone? Okay, they're talking about another game. All right, so Raichi says RAM leak is a new problem. The game used RAM, but forget to flush the system inside it and keep it keep it. Make the game use way more RAM than needed. That's I've seen it. I've experienced it, and it sucks. And especially when you get that prompt. More RAM is needed. And I'm like, hold up, I got 32 gigs. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you talking about? Like, anyway, and so then come to find out that there, just workarounds and stuff like that, and then it'll work itself out. But yeah, it's pretty crazy. Right, says devs are under pressure. They are scared to be fired. No, you're absolutely right. To Sean, what up, bro? He says, what are you giving? He says, what are you giving everything away? I want to go in fresh. Facts. That's what the new cats are saying. He says DNA part for me personally is a 90-20 aesthetic. Yobi said, because they old and about to be knocked out, he said I still have footage of him. Oh my God, you talking about me falling asleep. Shut up. Listen there. You still got that where I felt snap. That was man, I sit there and my back was hurting so bad during that stream, and I sit there and I had a little bit of that hooch, boy, that shit calmed down and I felt good, boy, and I went on to sleep. Man, I went on to sleep. I went on to sleep. My back, man. I mean, my back kills me all the time, but it's like, it's much more tolerable. That was still fresh back then. Boy, I sit there and had a little bit of that whiskey. Boy, I sit there, man. I was playing the game. I know it was during fight night, and I just went on. That man went on to sleep, but I went to sleep peaceful. I wasn't here like 100 did, where everybody was calling his ass. We thought he was dead. We thought he was to the upper room. We didn't think he was ever coming back. That man was gone. So yeah, at least I woke myself up and got on out of here. Like, all right, good night. Anyway, what up with you, Mike Johnson? Oh man. He said, I'm still running it. He said, I'm still getting all my pieces still. He says, I got an AMD Radeon 7900 XTX. I'm getting a whole new case. Very good. Yeah, because that was a little case too. That was the whole reason why I was like, yo, because I didn't know how big these 4090 cards or these 40 cards were. And I'm like, holy I said, man, there ain't no way. So that's when I was like, man, let me just go ahead and pass this on. You know what I'm saying? pay it forward. Right, he said it took 4 months for my 1070 Ti to get a 1080p 60 on my 1070i Ti. Oof. He says no need to do they damn job. Period. So yeah, I mean that's another thing. Well, yeah. Y'all did call me. Y'all did call me, but still, I was too far. I was good, man. I felt good. I felt real good. Anyway, um, yeah. So I mean, it's just like neglecting fundamentals like this. And here's another one. Okay, using I'll say that was pointing me. Okay, so ignoring the bigger picture. All right, with a narrow focus, junior developers may overlook how their code interacts. Now, again, this is not all. This is just talking about a lot of things of what we're seeing and experiencing in the gaming space. And like I said, where the place where I was at, they were the older devs was on demon time. They were. I mean, and listen, it's just no different than when you're talking to people and you listening and all that other stuff. We get it. We understand. So, like, I mean, we all been at the workplace. We all know how it goes. Like, especially when you're dealing with people that they may be really good at what they do, but then again, if they think they know it all, or they don't want to listen, or there's too much pressure, there's all types of crazy stuff that could happen. So this is just part of it. But we know it's not all of these younger developers, but I mean, it is a rampant thing that's going on in gaming right now. Ignoring the bigger picture. With a narrow focus, the junior developers may, I just read it, I'll read it again. Developers may overlook how their code interacts with the broader system, databases, and network. This can lead to inefficient data inquiries or excessive network requests, which are often the true source of performance problems. So, what I'm saying? And then there's just a whole bunch of other stuff of like, how to improve on these projects, work with other people, and it's basically what it's saying is like, look, master the fundamentals, try to touch on every bit of the things, not, not try to cut corners or work so fast to try to get things out the way. Yeah. So that's one of the things too. So, so yeah, it is a problem, and we see it all the time, and it's gonna definitely and until these developers can sit here and really hone in on what they need to hone in on. Now, like I said, not all of them, but some of these younger developers, then we're gonna still have these same type of problems with these games. And like I said, it's baffling to me because as you see my game running, and it's got everything max settings with that hardware, with the hardware ray tracing and the regular ray tracing. And you see there's no stutters, there's no nothing. It's moving great. So, but people could not get their game. It's tons of videos of people playing Outer Worlds 2 and it's 20 frames per second with a 5090, 5080. And with a high CPU. So like, there's a lot of factors to it, but I think a lot of it is, again, to a lot of what I've read. And hopefully this stuff can get addressed. But I just thought this was real interesting. He says, I have Rivera Turner frame rate locked at 48 frames per second. Okay. He said, bro, this card feels like I'm holding a damn gun. He said that is serious, bro. These new cards, they're huge, bro. When I sit there and I grab, cause I got told, I've told the story before, but I had to drive to Dallas because I seen that they had a 4080 open box for 1,000. I was like, oh shit, because I was going to get the 4090. And then I was like, hold up. So I seen two things open box that was on the way to Micro Center in Dallas. So I was like, hold up. There's a 4K Samsung monitor. You know what I'm saying? A 4K monitor, 144 hertz open box for how much? Yo, I sit there and I was like, man, we got up early in the morning, like because my wife had to go to Buc-ee's. That's just it. Anytime we go anywhere where there's a Buc-ee's, we got to go to Buc-ee's. So, and now I'm in a tradition because now I love Buc-ee's too. Damn it. Anyway, that damn beaver. But so got up early in the morning. And I sit there and I'm like, man, I got to be the first one at that Best Buy down there. Boom, hit that Best Buy. I asked about that open box. They didn't even know they had it. And then they go up there and I see it. I'm like, okay, because then I seen one of the new Samsung TVs because I still need to get a new TV. And I was like, man, I don't know. I think this because I think it was the new LEDs. I think it was what it's called. Was it LED? Whatever. It was one of the new Samsungs. It wasn't I forget what it might be the LED. It can't be the LED. It's something else. Anyway, I can't think of it right now. But it was and that picture was so crisp. And I'm like, well, hold on. I might just go ahead and get this TV and then just go ahead and get a CPU and just keep it pushing. Like, man, this new TV is crazy. But I said, no, stick to the mission. So anyway, I got the open box. Great deal for this monitor. And and this is what I'm using right now. So like, I mean, the monitor, I've been at this stuff for almost 3 years now. So almost three, yeah, maybe over a little over 3 years now. It'll be 3 years, I think, in February. And so, and then went to Micro Center, got up there, seen the 4080. For $1,000, I said, oh, I can't. It's a win-win. Like I said, I can go ahead and get the 4090 because that's what I wanted. But then I was like, I can get me a monitor and I could just go ahead and get me a 4080 and I can sit there and I can get the CPU, the CPU that I want to. You know what I'm saying? Well, it wasn't a CPU I wanted. I wanted to get the AMD because I really do like AMD CPUs. And I went ahead and I was like, you know what? And they said, well, this is something that's comparable, you know what I'm saying? But it's an AMD. And I'm like, ew, AMD. But I was like, you know what? Let's go. Let's do it. So I did it, ran into Pred, talked to Pred and everything. Sit there and was chopping it up because Pred stayed out that way. And then the rest is history. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's cooking. So you know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. Like, don't be afraid of open box. You know what I'm saying? Make sure that you get the warranty uplifted and then just keep it pushing. You know what I'm saying? That shit cook out, burn out, whatever, bend it back. But that's the thing. So that's why I was like, man, yeah, that's what it was. Thank you, Right? A mini LED. It was one of the first. He says, K-Mega is ready for a Halo remake. Bro, I am not ready for no Halo remake. I'm ready for I'm ready for some new Halo. I'm ready for Halo 7. That's what I'm ready for. So anyway. But he said, I actually like watching the Halo. I do like watching the Halo championships. That because you just look and see the skills, like it's just incredible. It feels incredible. So anyway, all right. Well, let's just move on off of that topic. I just wanted to touch on that because I said I was yesterday. All right, let's talk about this one right here. This is where this is at. I think we're here, ladies and gentlemen. I think we're almost here. I've talked about this for the last about 2 months now. And so now I think, and I'm going to continue to keep talking about this. But I think we're at a breaking point, ladies and gentlemen, with just gaming. Period. I think we are at a breaking point. We're at a breaking point with the console war. We're at a breaking point with the gaming media. We're at the breaking point with content creators and their bullshit. They're just always doom and gloom and always hate and the grifters and all of this and the people that, like I was bringing up yesterday about, people always was bitching and complaining about politics and gaming and all this. It's in gaming, so deal with it, right? And prices for games and services. We're at the breaking point. We're at the gaming point. I brought up a Vice, and I'll show this again. It was a Vice article that was talking about like people aren't, people just aren't buying games anymore. And this is that article right here. You know what I'm saying? And they're just not. We're getting priced out. And there's another factor to this why this is important because And this goes back to what I was bringing up about, and I showed those clips about it, and I've had a lot of people give their opinions on all different platforms about how I feel about the gaming service, especially about Game Pass, and how I feel that it's important for gamers, like, because of all the factors that's there. Plus, there's another factor that I didn't bring into it, and that's the fact that they're now openly telling you that you don't own your games. You can pay $70, $80, $100, $120, $130. Hell, you could buy a collector's edition for $200, $300, $400, and you'll just get a digital code, right? So, and they're telling you, yay. And even if you buy a disc, you got to pay more, and that disc don't necessarily matter, especially the way these games are built and constructed with the always online capability on it. So why all this other stuff is happening about this where this breaking point is with all these things going on is here we are, right? You had gamers that came out and they were telling you that it was okay. That, we got all these people over here telling you that, hey, you cheap, you broke, you don't have no money. Basically what we talked about with the shaming, pocket shaming, because if people are not going to buy $800 PlayStation Pro and now $800 and some dollar Xbox Series X or this, that, or people. They'll buy a Nintendo Switch, but I mean, if you got multiple consoles, how many people is going to sit there and go buy a Nintendo Switch, or Nintendo Switch 2, and then they're talking about the prices might jump up again? Now, I know I just seen something about Congress is trying to take away just voted to try to take away the tariff situation, which that about damn time, Congress. But people's pockets is hurting, bruh. People's pockets is hurting. And it doesn't matter even if you have a lot of money or if you're not, because one thing that we do, especially in the United States, if our pockets is hurting in any way, shape, or form, we hold on to the money that we have. We got other things that we got to take care of. And when you got these studies that's coming out, like this study, I talked about it and I talked about it extensively. I'm not going to go and break down all that other stuff. But again, it shows it right here. Like, it says right here, a study revealed that the majority of video game sales are fueled by only 4% of the players in 2025. Not 2020, not 2024, not 2023, not 2022, not 2012. This year, and 63% of the U.S. customers are buying fewer games, man. Like, and then then there's even more averages out there that shows that gamers only play from gamers from the age of 18 to 34, I think it said. 18 to 34. Only 4 to 6 hours, and sometimes in a week. 4 to 6 hours a week. That's not going to get it done. And see, this is why I say it's the breaking point. It's because here comes big business. Here comes big corpo. Here comes the dudes with the analytics and the men and women with the analytics, and they're talking about this is how you can do it. Da 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 da. Keep up on our profit share. Let our stocks look good for our investors. La da 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 da. And they come with that dumbass narrative of saying let's raise prices. They'll still come. No, they won't. No, they won't. They will not. We will not. Already, I guess I've seen. I think that's what that was. Yeah, I think I did see that. Because I know I seen a handheld, so I'm thinking it was the Xbox Rogue Ally. The price already dropped. Now I don't know if that was open box or not. I don't think it was. But the price already dropped. Now, what's also funny is that, like, I was just talking about yesterday too about how Randy Pitchford was going wild about, hey, we don't need to drop the price to Borderlands 4. Well, Borderlands 4's price has dropped. They're not meeting expectations. I'm sure the game is sold well, but they've set an expectation. And that expectation needs to be met in order for them to get the money that they said that they feel like they deserve, even though we know that that's a good game. But again, the game came in. We're just talking, and that was the reason why I started this stream off, was talking about the devs, these younger junior devs that are cutting corners, and people are having the problems that they're having all over. It's mostly on PC for a lot of this, but it's all over. It's a lot of games that are optimized poorly, that don't play well, because there's all these cutting corners. You send, and it seemed like that there's this push to send it out as quickly as possible. We'll patch it later. And as again, gamers are getting fed up. It's already showing it. You know what? There's only the only data that really truly matters is the data of when you sit there and you see some shit like this from that study that I just showed you, that only 4% of the gamers are out here are fueling the gaming industry. That ain't gonna work. And then also in that article, I also brought up that there was more gamers that was invested in the free-to-play games. And so this is why the PlayStation was going on the push. You know what I'm saying? It made sense. Like, I mean, we know online games make it happen, but again, it has to make sense in that retrospect of like, hey, hold on. What is the type of online game that's going to generate interest? And that's a hard thing to come up with, because you just don't ever know. Who would have ever thought something like Fortnite? Because remember about Fortnite. Okay, I've told this story before for the new people that's in here that hasn't heard me talk about this before. Okay, so podcaster named Dealer, and it was all day. They kept on talking to me about how Fortnite was this, that, and the third, right? Like how dope it was, how cool it was. I need to get it. I need to buy it. Because remember when Fortnite first came out, you had to buy it full price. And I'm like, I'm not buying that shit. And they're like, bro, I'm telling you, it's this, that, and the third. Man, go buy it, man. I'm telling you. They're like, man, it's so fun, man. Come on, so we can join us and play. I'm like, all right. And I buy it. And I'm like, it's cool. And then we play a few times. We play, and then they get bored of it, because the reality of it was like, oh shit, there's not enough people playing. And remember, if you guys remember, Fortnite went through trouble. Fortnite was about to be out of there. And then Fortnite had to change their structure to make it a free to play. Fortnite would have never seen Fortnite would have been gone by now. Fortnite, I think, was on the cusp of being gone until they made the push of making it a free to play, and it catapulted. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Big Bad Mo, I did sign up for the alpha Invincible Versus. I did. Hopefully I'll get that and get to play it. Raji says they will get all the FOMO gamers, but the cautious gamers will not buy. Right, and there's more cautious gamers than there are FOMO gamers, and the casuals, the casuals are the casuals. The casuals are going to get their 2 to 4 games a year, and for anything else that they may have interest in, they may go ahead and they may say, yeah, I might go ahead. I'll go ahead and get that on a sale at Black Friday or during tax time. Other than that, they ain't worried about nothing else. Because if the study shows that people are only playing games 4 to 6 hours a week, they're saying they got other, and that's the truth. Other people got priorities. They got children. They got other things. Hell, people got lives. There's people that like to go touch grass, and there's nothing wrong with that. But again, that's what's hurting the industry is these whole, you're getting all big corporal inside, and then they over here telling you that you got to push this, you got to push that. And then it will be a different story if you had a game like Cyberpunk that came out and performed on everything properly. It would be a different thing if you got a game that dropped and people loved it and like, oh my God, this game, it's running so well, it's so good. It boosts the steam because then not on top of that, you get good high ratings from the gaming media, and then you'll get good ratings from content creators that will rate the games high. And then you got word of mouth of like, man, this game is so dope, man. My God. And the reason why I bring all this up is for a couple of reasons here. I just told you guys I beat Ninja Gaiden 4 the other day. It's the action game of the year. No question. Now I do got Kazan, the Berserker. It's solid. It's real solid. Now I have not beat it. Matter of fact, I have to go back and need to play it. I forgot what game came out around that time. I want to say it was South of Midnight. I think it was South of Midnight, or if it was the Capcom Collection 2, we had Power Stone and all that in there. I need to play that on Fight Night too. But anyway, like that had to be put on reserve, especially for South of Midnight. So yeah, you know what I'm saying? It was a cool game, great. But anyway, but yeah, no, Ninja Gaiden 4 is outstanding. It's so good. I know I just praised it all day, all stream yesterday. Matter of fact, we're showing some clips on Twitter and on TikToks and stuff like that. Anyway, now I don't like going through Steam numbers like that because there's other numbers that need to be assessed. I was just talking about that yesterday too, because people were talking about Halo. That it only had like 3,000 players concurrently or whatever on Steam. But the only numbers that we can see right now for Ninja Gaiden is 3,000, 3,200, 3,400 players. With a game that good, that solid, that fun. And it's not a game that is I mean, it's challenging, but it's not, you can play it. There's an easy mode if you don't want a challenge. If you don't want like a serious challenge. But it has a easy, normal, hard, and then when you beat the game, there's a like a god tier hard mode or whatever. So I think what is Greater Ninja or whatever, I forgot what it was called, Legendary Ninja or something like that, whatever. But so that ain't the issue. This guy, it's cool that they did that. But that's just saying there's a good quality game. It runs flawlessly. It has a decent story, but the game's combat is where it shines and it's superior. That's the thing that we love the most is when a game, you're asking for the price for it, you ask for the price point. The price point is reasonable if you got Game Pass. But that's what's hurting the game. Steam players is just like looking at it from that standpoint. You're just going off of the Steam players alone. 3,400 for a new game like that, and it's getting overlooked for games that are a lot cheaper. Case in point, Arc Raiders. Arc Raiders is like $30. You can get Arc Raiders for like, I've seen Arc Raiders in certain places for 28. And it's cooking right now. I mean, it's like on Steam numbers, because that's all I want to go off of, is what is not on everything. But on Steam numbers, it's 381,000 concurrent players. And people are like, well, see, there you go. The Arc Raiders is cool. Don't get me wrong. I played that demo. It's great. It's fun. I would love to play it with people. I'll definitely probably be a maniac and get it. But at some point, there's a main reason of why there's 381 concurrent players, because the game is fucking less than $40. While Ninja Gaiden, which is solid, which is fantastic, is 70. You can't win like that. You're not going to pull, especially with this economy like it is, people losing jobs left and right. We're heading for a recession, folks. There's no question about it. And it goes back to the way I brought up about Fortnite was this. Fortnite was cooked. It was done. It was sauteed. It was Titans. Titans, as they say in the 20s and 30s. Titans. But they said, "Oh shit, let's change this up and do a free to play." Now it don't work with every game. I think they tried to do it with Concord. I think, yeah, it didn't work. Tried to do it with some other games, didn't work. But Fortnite, it worked. But they tried to take the formula of what Overwatch was doing, because Overwatch was bringing something again. And then again, I know a lot of people, when I say the word loot boxes, they probably might frown, but loot boxes is nowhere as bad as what we get now today. It was something that was always brought up when we had Devin the Gamer, and it was always brought up. You might regret what you wish for. You sent loot boxes away, but guarantee you they're going to find other ways to get money from you. And it might not be and it might be even more treacherous. And we're at that time. And on top of that, they're like, hell, I want more. And so they're asking for more money. And they're not even talking about raising game prices. And I guarantee you, I said this before, they've been advocating for this. Through, you see some of these older developers, older like developers. You got some people that were head of publishers, and they're coming out here, and then you got some people in the media, gaming media, that's coming out and saying, "Look, it'll be good for $80 games." When Grand Theft Auto 6 comes out, and Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to be fantastic, they're going to try to make it seem like every game that's going to come out should deserve to be $80. Even though we know that a lot of games in the gaming space is not going to be worth fucking $30 because of the fact that they're going to half-ass, just like the point that I brought up about in the very first topic of talking about the junior developers and how they're cutting corners and how we having games that's not working at the capacity of what they're doing, and it's all of the above. Younger developers cutting corners, management over here pushing, and then the publishers is forcing the hand and saying, we can't wait. Push it. So we're at a breaking point. The gamers have decided, and it's only going to get worse. Let me read this. There was somebody that posted this. This was incredible. And this goes back to why I defended Game Pass. This right here. If you bought all of the big games in the last 2 months, you would pay close to $700. If you, just in the last 2 months, if you bought all the big games, so that's pricing a big budget to mid budget to indie. And we're talking about the big games. We're not talking about everything. We're just talking about the big named games that we all know that sold well or got high praise, something like that. Up to in 2 months, not the year, 2 months. Upwards to close to $700. If it's just the AAA games, it's $420 plus. Just the AAA. Now, people in the comments, when I was bringing up about how Game Pass and how I talk about Ubisoft, how I talk about EA Play, how I talk about just gaming services in general, how vital they are for people who are trying to hold on to a little bit of that money. They'll talk about, but I own my games. I own them. You just get, in 2 months, you get the AAA games that you want for $420 plus. You can have up to 75 games, up to close to 500 games in a year for 303. Well, it's not. You still got time. It's not November 4th yet. It's December 30th. So you still have time to get Game Pass for 200 and something right now for a year. But being realistic, getting Game Pass for 300 and something, and you have up to upwards of 500 games within a year. There's just no way. Like, I get it. You're not going to buy 75 games within a year. I know that you're not going to buy, hell, we see the studies. We know that you might even buy 3 games in a year. We get that. But this whole notion of using this term as saying, well, I own my games, you don't know if you own them games or not, especially, I mean, we know that you don't own them. They've said it. They publicly said it. Now, if you buy them off of GOG, yeah, you own those games. But if Steam shut down today, if Microsoft said, I'm done, I'm through with the gaming division, we're shutting it down, we're not selling the Xbox division. Uh-oh. PlayStation, something catastrophic happens, and they say, yeah, we shutting this shit down. We ain't selling. Uh-oh. Nintendo would probably be the only one that will probably be, you might make it. But Nintendo is, but just to say, Nintendo's even going to be more diabolical with what they're going to do, though. Are we? You know what I mean? I don't want to see a gaming world where Nintendo is the only one standing. That ain't gonna be a good time, Jack. Because they're gonna tear our asses up. So again, it's a thing right here where I'm just trying to explain to people, like, for right now, it's nothing wrong with buying your games, because I buy games. Hell, I got Masquerade. I said I was stopping, but I went ahead because I just, and you know what? I need to show some gameplay of Masquerade. I actually kind of like Bloodlines Masquerade. I actually kind of like it. I actually kind of like it so far. Anyway, but yeah, that's where we at, and I'm just saying to you right there, gamers are not going to sit here and spend upwards of close to $700 for games. They're just not. I mean, even though when I'm a maniac, I don't. Not in no 2 months. I'm not buying $420 worth of games in 2 months. We all usually wait for sales, find deals, or I'm using my service. And another thing that's also, see, this is the thing that trips me out. See, these people want to use analytics and all this and that, while they're not looking at the analytics of where you're seeing cheaper games that came out this year that are kicking the ass of AAA games. Or games that maybe potentially may seem they should have been a AAA, but they're $70 compared to a game that's $50, like Expedition 33. Or you're looking at a game like that's $30-$40, like South of Midnight, high rating. You're looking at a game like the Oblivion remake that was what, $30-$40. I don't think Doom did all that great, because you're asking for $70. And then just think about this for a second. I don't know how many people are playing Outer Worlds 2 right now, but they're asking for $70. If they went ahead, and if Microsoft was stupid enough to go ahead and make that push and to keep that game at $80, this shit, listen, if that's the thing to where they want to try to force you to make a choice on Game Pass, well, I got Game Pass, so it ain't forcing me to do nothing, but I'm just saying, you know? And then, I mean, I got Battlefield 6. Well, I got Battlefield 6 through EA because I said I wasn't going to trust it, but I'm going to eventually buy Battlefield 6 because I like Battlefield 6. I just said I wasn't going to buy day one because I don't know what it's going to be, because I don't know how it was going to play, what was going to be the situation. So yeah, I'll get it. See, this is the reason for me why I always will stand on it for these services, because of the fact that, hey, I you know what I'm saying, I got to be a smart gamer on with my money. Let me see. It says Dark Ages did bad because you need 4 times the hardware compared to Doom Eternal. It's more than that, right, Chi? It's more than that. That's a part of it. But that's what I'm saying. That's why I brought up at the very beginning of the topic, was that there are all these factors that are hurting the industry. Greed is number one. Stop asking for more money. Stop asking for more money and giving us a bullshit ass product. Like you just said, Doom didn't do good because it was 4 times the hardware compared. It needed 4 times the hardware compared to Doom Eternal. Doom Eternal still looks outstanding. But yet, I mean, okay, you went hard in the paint. It look, you know what I'm saying? Doom Dark Ages does it look better? I I would say it does, maybe. I don't know. Like, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not the biggest Doom guy. You know what I'm saying? I haven't beat any of them, but I play them. I played them. I think they're cool, but I don't know. I mean, Doom, I don't know. The Doom Dark Ages looked good, but I don't know. I might think the Doom Eternal looked better. I don't know. I could be wrong. You people in the chat, you got more expertise in Doom than I do. What do you think? Yobi, you saying did I play a game called Phantom Breaker? Yes, I have that game. I actually played through the story mode on a fight night a few years back. Yes, I do have Phantom Breaker. It's not bad. It's not bad at all. I don't. If it's on sale, pick it up. Pick it up and then hurry up and bring your ass back to fight night. Yeah. So yeah. This is where we at, man. This is a bad situation. It's not. It's we're at a weird time, man. And these games, when you see that you got the developers putting the love in it behind, these developers and there's indie games too. Like, I mean, I was watching a video. A dude was talking about this one little indie game. It's a single player game, and it was some game about a duck, and you're shooting. It looked corny as hell to me. I wouldn't be interested in playing it, but the game is cooking right now on PC because it's what, $20, $18. Game runs fantastic. It's made by older developers. Like, I mean, it's only made by 5 developers, and I think that too. And that's the one thing. It's like for most of the shit that I say, for most of the things that I say, if it's coming from me, but I won't try to steal anybody else's credit on something. But this one YouTuber, when I was watching the video about the duck game, which, like I said, it left me from the get. It was a top-down game with ducks and penguins and shit shooting at each other. It looked fun. Like I said, it was a co-op game or whatever. It looked fun as hell. But the one other thing too is that the game ran fantastic. That's another thing. Like, when these smaller studios show more love. Like when I was watching the Xbox ID. And you're looking at the love behind these games that, some of those games, of course, I will never play, but there was some game like that, like the one game with the the two people. It was the woman and the man, and they were one was out in the mountains trying to get to each other. One was in a spaceship, and they were talking from 2 different perspectives. That shit looked dope. That's an indie game. Then you had the game that looked like there was a shooter that looked like Cuphead, like with, animated, like in the set in the 20s, 30s, like cartoon mix. That was fire. Like, that's insane. Like, this is the type of stuff we're talking about. And that game is not going to be $70. That game is going to be cheaper. It's so much more to this, and people got to stop. He said, so Richie says Dark Age look a bit better. See, that's not enough. A bit better for a higher priced game isn't it, though, Richie? And the game ain't playing right, then that ain't it. You know what I mean? Like, so, like, these things hurt more than they help. So, like, if Dark Ages was $60, and it's a bit better, but it had the issues, people would be a little bit more like, man, come on, man, do better. But it's even worse when you're paying $10 more and the game is performing like that, performing like ass. It's not working. And that's why, because this is the biggest problem. People are nervous about where they're going. People are nervous about, is this game going to be good for me, or am I going to get another Mind's Eye? Even though, like I said, Mind's Eye worked pretty good for me. I don't know. Like I said, every time I show you my gameplay, yeah, you know what I'm saying? I don't do no alterations or anything like that. I'll show you my gameplay, and the game was running fine. But again, it also goes to maybe what Yobi was bringing up earlier, was that just because maybe my CPU and I got enough RAM and that helps. But that shouldn't be the case. People need to, these devs need to optimize these games better and stop cutting corners, and then stop asking for so much damn money. Yeah, the original one was made on the 360, but they made another version of it. Let's see, they made another version of it or whatever, but I don't know. So anyway, that's but I wanted to touch on that. Like I just said, I got my angle with it. I'm always going use Game Pass into it in some way, shape, or form to make it work. I mean, to let gamers just understand. Listen, Game Pass, PlayStation Plus, EA Play, Ubisoft, all the any service, any gaming service is very necessary right about now. I'm just saying, and you got different tiers. Do that, and then when you want the game that you want, get it for sale. I mean, now and get that game. Now again, if it's a game that's just a no-brainer for you, then, of course, like I do, just get it. But a lot of things, we get skeptical about a lot of stuff, man. So I don't know. It's just like case in point. I went ahead and I got the Mortal Kombat. Legacy Collection today, and I'm happy for it. But see, again, here we go. Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection goes under fire because it's missing basic features because it doesn't have crossplay and it doesn't have a lobby yet. They'll bring them later. Bruh. Now, why can't you just wait a couple of more months to release the game with everything? Why do I? Because they did the same thing with Mortal Kombat 1. Stop it. This is where this is going to get, and I don't like saying this because you know how much I love fighting games, but I am going to get to a point to where I am not going to buy a fighting game if a fighting game don't have crossplay. I'm at that point. I really am. It's 2025. We have to stop this. I'm looking at Demon Slayer. I got the second Demon Slayer game, and the lobbies are, and when I jump in, I want to fight. I'm fighting the same two people. Like, bro. And then, of course, I'm getting cooked because this is all they play all day. While I'm over here playing Outer Worlds, Ninja Gaiden, NBA 2K, Battlefield 6, jumping in and trying out to see how Bloodline the Masquerade play and play a little bit of Borderlands 4 and play Madden and play college football and play Call of Duty. And bro, I listen. That's why I say I'm not an Evo player. I play fighting games for the love of them because I love playing fighting games. But there's going to be moments where I have my moments where I'm kicking ass, and then there's going to be moments where I'm getting dog walked. And that's okay with me because I know I play every other thing. I don't put all my 100% time and effort behind just one particular fighter. I'm better at some than others, but it's for the love. But that shit for games that don't have crossplay, games that don't have lobbies, games that don't have it don't have just those type of basic features. No. I understand that Mortal Kombat was $50, for a solid collection. But again, what we want to do is sit here and see this, like the mindset. Like I'm just sitting here, like, okay, so where did they come up with this thought of saying, okay, well, let's make sure that we get this one, I don't know. It was this one Mortal Kombat version I never heard of. It was Wavelink or something like that of Mortal Kombat 3. Where, when they already had like 3 versions of Mortal Kombat 3, which is fine. I didn't know about it. So I don't know what the trick of it was or anything like that. Or what Wavelink was. I never seen it. So I clicked on it, played a couple of matches, but I'm like, what is this? Because I'm not even getting the same moves off. What is happening here? I don't know. So you're telling me that you want to put that Wavelink shit in there of that version instead of giving us a lobby. So we set up a lobby, have a good time. with friends. I mean, because the game plays really, really good. I was having a blast. It took me a minute to remember the combos for a couple of characters. I was like, I remember Cyrax, and I did not know Kung Lao's, which pisses me off. I know it's the it's two button setup, but anyway, I had Cyrax's down. I had Cyrax, and I had Katana's combo set down, but Jesus. But I'm just sitting here like, well, you know what? Like, they'll be perfect for fight night. Well, because you don't have lobbies, now I'm just playing randos. And I ain't got a problem with playing randos when the time comes when I'm over here feeling comfortable about what I'm playing, but I want to jump in with people that I know and we're all learning at the same time, and then we can jump in and start playing with randoms at that point. But what? So I'm probably going to have to start skipping on some of these fighters if they don't have crossplay, if they don't have the basic stuff. You know what I'm saying? I'm giving that Mortal Kombat a pass because I'm very happy about the nostalgia of it. And also, they are bringing, talking about fighters, they're bringing back Battle Arena Toshinden collect. They're bringing a Battle Arena Toshinden collection. That was confirmed. I seen that Wednesday. I forgot to bring that up when I did my thoughts. Or yesterday. I keep thinking today is Friday for some reason. And I think it's slated for next year. But I'm going to be highly pissed. Now, I might see that might not have crossplay. I would hope it would. But I'm not going to trip out about that. But goddamn it, you got to have lobbies. You better have lobbies in there, or I'm going to be highly pissed. And I said that I wasn't going to buy no more fighters on that, but I got to get Battle Arena Toshinden. I got to get that. They got me just because of they're bringing 1, 2, and 3. I got to have it. I got to have it. I got to get my boy Sho and Richili, and we getting busy. Yes, and Sophia. I mean, no, not Sophia. Sophia. That's her name. With chick with the whip. Yeah. No. We got to get to work. So I got to get that. He says, "Bro, what's the Virtual Fighter 5 World stage? Oh, get that. That's the new upgrade Virtual Fighter, and that's crossplay. That's crossplay. Go ahead and get that. I already got it. So you know what I'm saying. Get that. It's only you get. I got the $30 version." Because they have some more they got like different outfits, the music, the soundtrack, stuff like that. But get that, the controls feel outstanding. It's really good. It's real good, and it looks great. So yeah, Virtual Fighter 5 Revo is solid. They have it for $20, and then they have like a $30 or $40 version. But I got the when I first got it, I got the $20 version, but I went ahead and bought the DLC later on. So yeah, no, I picked that bad boy up. So go get that. Get that. So anyway, see if there's anything else that I want to talk about. I know that there was one more thing. Hold on, let me look. Oh yeah, the studio closures. I talked about that a little bit yesterday, and there's more. Dang it, I think that's what I actually, no, I didn't. Okay, I thought I'd erased it. All right, so there's another one from Amazon, and that was and this sounded dope. Now, I don't play a lot of MMOs. I do like them, but again, who has the time? But Amazon canceled a Lord of the Rings MMORPG. Then there was also another dev. It was for like a MMO for oh my goodness, I just was looking at that. And it was from a Chinese game. And matter of fact, the lady, one of the ladies that developed on the game's not even out yet. And the game is going to be, and the woman, there was a whole bunch of people that got laid off. And so they're over here wondering if the game is even going to do well enough to sustain, which is another problem. And so I'm like, that's not a good look. I forgot the name of the game. I was just, dang it. Yeah, I did. I knew when I clicked off of something, I was like, oh, what is that there for? And that's what it was there for. So my apologies for that. But anyway, just get ready. There's going to be more of those. It's going to be really bad. So, it's unfortunate to see all these people getting laid off, and it's going to be really sad that there's probably not going to be a lot of jobs coming back for a lot of people. So anyway, but not going to keep you guys here too much longer. You know what I'm saying? You're going to see me again tomorrow. I probably will not do fight night tonight unless I'm requested of it. But if somebody hits me up and want to play something, but I will be here tomorrow night. I probably will start the stream at 10 o'clock. It'll be 9 or 10 o'clock tomorrow night for Halloween. My wife is going to be right here next to me, and I'm going to be playing some goddamn. Okay, so let's look. Okay, I'm on YouTube. Oh my God. Okay. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so this is my last opportunity. So if you're on YouTube, I'm asking on a poll, what scary game should I stream this Halloween? And so it was Resident Evil, Callisto Protocol, Dead Space Remake, or Resident Evil 8. And so right now, Resident Evil 8 is last place at 11%. Dead Space Remake is at 30%. I'm sorry. I was wrong. Third place is Callisto Protocol at 15%. And second place is Dead Space Remake at 30%. Right now, who's holding supreme is Resident Evil 7. He said, he said, I didn't vote on that poll. He says, whatever did y'all. He said, whatever. Hold on. He said, how you say that? He says, whatever did y'all going to hell? Oh man, yeah, Curie. She said, oh no. She said Resident Evil snuck up on Dead Space Remake. Boo. Oh, so y'all was looking for me to go ahead and y'all are trifling, bruh. Y'all are trifling. Good God. Anyway. Man, that's unfortunate that I didn't, because I just was looking at that. Hold on. I'm finna go. Hold on. Before I get out of here, so I can see if Curie knows about this. Oh, damn it. That's not where I wanted to go. See if Curie, anybody else on the panel. I said panel, but on the stream. Oh, what am, oh. Oh. What is that? That looked just like Twitter for a minute. Oh man. Nope, I can't. Man, that sucks. I thought I reposted it, but I guess not. I guess I just seen where the article came from. I mean, well, not the article, but the posting came from. Where that where that Japanese or Chinese, I think it was Chinese studio was laying people off, and the game's not even out yet. Dang it, that sucks. Oh well. That sucks. Oh, nope, I found it. There we go. Okay. All right. I thought I posted it. I thought I reposted it. All right. So this lady named Myrani, she is a producer at Heart Machine on Possessor. So it's a game called Processor. I don't know, Curie or anybody else on the panel. I mean, in the chat. If you've heard of that, it's a game that was supposed to be coming out. It is still coming out. And it's a game that was it says North America has its first video game union at Voodoo Games, at Vito Games or something like that. That sucks though, but this game, these people are already getting laid off, and she's talking about her workings because she's worked on other games, but that does suck. That definitely sucks. So anyway, I don't know if you heard about it, but that's it. Yeah, I did play Arc Raiders. I did like it. I definitely, that is a game I definitely got to play with somebody. I would love to play it. I did, you know what I'm saying? I went ahead and I got, like I said, blood, and I know people are gonna say, "What you got that instead?" And I got it for a deal, but I got Bloodlines Masquerade, which I've been saying I wanted to play. It's just one of those games that it could be so bad that you know what I'm saying, it could be good. But anyway, so I had a choice, and so I didn't get Arc Raiders, and then I also got the Mortal Kombat game. So, but I would love to play it. I would love to play it because I did like the demo. I thought it was cool, but yeah. So maybe because if I knew, and that was another thing that pissed me off. Maybe I would have waited for the Mortal Kombat collection if I knew, but they waited until the game was released to let people know that it wasn't going to have lobbies. It wasn't going to have lobbies yet, and it wasn't going to have crossplay on the day that the game launched. If I knew that, I would have waited. So, and then I probably would have went ahead and got Arc Raiders. But yeah, no, I do like it. So, Big Bad Mo, let me know if you like it or not. Anyway, all right, guys, thank you so much for coming and checking out the stream. As always, we're going to go ahead and close this out, close the poll out. Oh, we're going to end it. Let's see. Yep. Well, tomorrow night, come and check us out, man. I'm going to be playing my first scary game in a long time, man. I don't know what to think. Jack. But here we go. Resident Evil 7 for the win. All right, guys. I'll go and I'll see what anybody else tallied up on the community chat and see what they voted on. But right now, Resident Evil 7 looks like it's the one. So, all right. So everybody have a good one. Thank you guys for coming through. Remember, if you are new to the channel, man, you like the content, subscribe. It's free. Also, everybody that's checked out the stream, man, hit that like button, hit the dislike button, hit me up with some comments. You know what I'm saying? That definitely helps with the channel, the way that YouTube is tripping out now. I just sit there and posted a clip of Ninja Gaiden 4. Just want to show its greatness and its excellence, I didn't get flagged, but because I guess there are new policies or whatever, I guess with violent games or whatever, I got hit with some kind of like disciplinary bullshit, and I'm just kind of like, what are we doing here? Like, I mean, everything that I post is over 18. So why is this still bad for people that's over 18? I don't know. It's just another one of those weird things with YouTube. But anyway, send out that like button. Make YouTube understand that I need to be in that algorithm better. All right, guys, I really do appreciate it. See y'all tomorrow night. Peace.